What's going on, everybody? Listen, welcome to the Endzone Club, where we are about taking a platform for youth, utilizing mentors, leaders, professional athletes, all sorts of men that have lived all kinds of experiences and putting it in a gumbo pot and giving our youth something that's going to push them from potential to purpose. And today, y'all, I'm super excited about today's interview because I have one of my closest friends in the world and Coach Derrick Owens. I'm a firm believer that you got to set the tone right with a proper introduction. So who better to introduce Coach Owens, my Coach O, other than Derrick? Derrick, tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, first of all, I need to tell you about your shirt, 49er fan. Hey, we real close, but come on, man. I get started from the post. But anyway, I love you, man. You mean a lot to me. But
Man.
my name is Derrick Owens. I'm from Columbia, Mississippi. I played at Mississippi Valley State. Went to Pearl River Junior College first. My dad played in the NFL for like 9 seasons with the New Orleans Saints, and I grew up around sports and football. So I am a person that loves competition. I love to be around sports, all sports, not just football. And I understand and know what it has done for me as a young man growing up. It helped me in the middle of the road when I believed that I could have been in the ditch. I put it that way. Go ahead.
I hear you. And I like that because, where I'm coming from, sports is often like an outlet for a lot of kids because, I was surprised growing up and for the year I played, how many guys don't have much to look forward to outside of football, outside of sports. So I like what you're saying because, we all have these stories about guys that coulda, woulda, shoulda, and football was that one linchpin that kept them out of trouble. Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Of course, man. Well, I can say personally for myself is that, growing up around my peers, there was a lot of other things that really could have pulled me all the way into that ditch. But being involved with sports, being involved with football mostly for my life, I played a little basketball, but it held me to the place where I had something to look forward to. And that's something I think is very important. If we don't have something that we like doing and we're holding on to, then guess what? We don't have a hope for tomorrow or future. So therefore, I believe I looked at that, didn't think I would be an NFL player or anything like that, but I did it because I love the camaraderie with the guys and I love the competition, the game as a whole.
Absolutely. So it's almost like you're saying with football, it almost gave you a family. It gave you some maybe principles like discipline. That's almost what I'm hearing. It gave you a goal. And you know as well as I know how important goals are in life. When you have a goal, something you're looking forward to, it gives you something to wake up for every morning. It's almost like a sense of motivation, so to speak. And I think when you have motivation, it helps you to really see down the road a little further. Was that kind of some of the things that you experienced?
Of course, man. When I look back, hindsight, a lot of my passion comes from the fact that guys that gave me a seed early on in my football career, I would say just they gave me something that I could look forward to now. It's almost like they gave me a portion of my ability to become the person that I am today. For instance, I had a coach in junior college named Willie Coates. He was a tough, hard man, but at the same time, he wanted to pull the best out of us, yet and still he wanted to show that he cared at the same time. And that's a difficult balancing act, but he pulled it off. So I think from that personal experience, it showed me a coach can be hard on one hand, but he can be at a place to where he's trying to bring the best out of you as a person and as an individual. So when I get to a place in my life, I look back at those situations. Life is going to be hard at times, but um, how we're going to look at it and how we're going to bring the best out of somewhat of a bad situation. And I think sports in general helps build character. It helps put us in a position to say, okay, I'm not going to win them all, but I'm not going to lose them all as well. So it's a wonderful thing that I experienced in my young life that I talk about so much now in my adult life is my high school days, my college days, my junior college days, and the guys I played with, because the camaraderie, just being together with other guys with one common goal, it's just a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. I like that, because what I'm hearing is it gave you a foundation. I think one reality, I like that point. When I first played, I remember at the end of some practices, it felt like we had given our all. And that was kind of like our motto. Our coach wanted to make sure that we were taking time every practice to prepare for the real game. And I remember, because of that motto, we would give all in practice. And then we thought it was time to go, and coach would say, hey, let's run, 100 yards. You thought you had given your all, but what they were showing us was they were putting something in us that pushed us harder. Those are some of the limited stories that I tell. But when Coach Owens is sharing his story about where he's been and what he's done, what is one of those go-to stories from your career that you talk about a lot?
One of the go-to stories, I would say it was adversity. At Mississippi Valley State during my second year there, going into college, my mindset was I always wanted to win a national championship or a championship period. But that year we had a really bad year. I think we ended up with a record of 2-8 or 1-9. It was very discouraging to me at the moment, but I continued to press through to the other side. And, people would ask, okay, why would you pick that experience? Because what it it began to expose how I felt about the game. It began to exposing me what kind of player I was and what kind of character I had. And what it eventually done when I became an older man is I began to look back at that situation and said, life is going to always be different from what you think it should be. But are you going to get the best out of what you have before you? I didn't say it at that time. I'm not here to say that I was hunky-dory through that whole process, because I wasn't. I had ups and downs with my teammates, with my coach, and I really got to a place thinking in my mind, did I really want to continue the season? But I did, and I gave it the best I had. So, taking it back into the place where I am with life, there are going to be tough times, dark places in our life. We're going through a pandemic. It has been a tough year, but what it done to me is, the cliche says don't give up, but it has to be something you have went through before in order to stand and say, okay, I've been there before and I didn't throw in the towel, I didn't give up. So I think I have it within me to do again. So I believe the experiences I had, not all the good ones where we won the game and won the championship, but when we lost a lot. I learned that it's sometimes just about not the ending prize of victory, but going through a process and giving the best you have and just hanging in there. So I think sometimes we just got to get to the point in life where we just hang in there.
You're speaking to a lot of even core values that they teach us in the military. And one of the words that they're really focusing on now, you actually brought out, and that's resiliency. That's being able to go through tough times and having a resolve that, hey, I'm going to make it through this and I'm going to achieve the goal. And that's what I like, because honestly, I think even for a lot of young people may not realize how much easier it is to give up than to actually hit the goal. With that said, I've got one final thought, brother, and I'm going to let you get out of here. But speaking to your younger self, what are some things you wish you knew in a pep talk that you wish somebody had given you?
Wow. Wow, that's a big one. Well, personally, I probably would tell my younger self, Derrick, make sure you take in the moments. That's the good, the bad, the indifference. You know, the places where you say, I'm ready to go home and to go to sleep into the next day just for a fresh opportunity, but always value time in the moment. Because I believe that life is short as a whole, but I would tell my younger self, be patient. Don't try to grow up too quick. Don't try to move too fast. Be patient and allow things to come to you. Don't push things. Don't try to move before your time. And cherish the opportunities that you have with people that are wise or that have been there before you, and take heed to what they say to you, because I guarantee you it's going to come up and you're going to be able to use it in life.
Absolutely. Coach Owens, it's always a blessing. The opportunities I've gotten to work with you in ministry with you, doing all we're trying to do. I thank you for these moments you've dedicated to us today. I look forward to seeing the response. But most importantly, my brother, have a blessed day and go Tigers.